Hey guys, it's Ross Scott on the Space Couch. I just want to talk a little bit about the sequel trilogy in general, in retrospect, how it compares to the original and the prequel trilogies. The original trilogy, obviously that was the journey of Luke Skywalker and the redemption of Darth Vader to Anakin Skywalker. The prequel trilogy was the fall of Anakin Skywalker. The sequel trilogy, I guess it would be about the rise and fall of Kylo Ren and the redemption of Ben Solo, but probably only by accident, because the sequel trilogy is a mess. It really is, story-wise. And you know, I absolutely love The Force Awakens. And there's parts of The Last Jedi that I do really like. And I really, really enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker. But I couldn't tell you really what the sequel trilogy is about. I don't know if anyone could. And that's because there's no overall theme, unfortunately. Force Awakens, a soft reboot of A New Hope, and I guess it had to be. It is what it is, you know? It's like to get the fans back in, remind people why they were excited about Star Wars in the first place. And in that respect, it worked very, very well. It did introduce interesting characters, gave them the thinnest veneer of character that was in The Force Awakens, a very thin veneer of character development. But then it could have gone anywhere, the story. But the problem is, in The Last Jedi, the story doesn't really go anywhere, while at the same time closing off most of the most interesting plot threads. Yeah, but there's still stuff in there that's really good. I mean, as ridiculous as the Holdo maneuver is, it's stunning visually. Oh, that just reminds me, in The Rise of Skywalker, when after the defeat of the Emperor, and you see the ships, like the one that's crashing on Jakku, and the one that goes past Cloud City, the one that you see from Endor, from the Forest Moon, it looks like it's been split in half, and someone has done a Holdo maneuver on it. You guys, when you see that scene, let me know if you think the same, because it certainly looks like someone did a Holdo maneuver on whatever Star Destroyer, I think it's a First Order Star Destroyer, in the Endor system, in that movie. I'm sure of it. But yeah, and obviously the Rey and Kylo stuff, their bond, it works really well. And that is developed in The Rise of Skywalker, whether you agree with it or not. The Force Ghost being able to do tangible things, that's developed in The Rise of Skywalker. But the story, I mean, it's an entire trilogy in one movie, in the last movie, which is a real shame. And that is part of the overall problem of the sequel trilogy. There's no common theme. Rise of Skywalker is a sequel to The Force Awakens. The Last Jedi, what is it about? I really don't know. Great, they tried to do different things, but make sure those different things are things that people are actually going to want. Give people something that they didn't know they wanted, not something that they're pretty sure that they don't. Trashing beloved characters is not something that any fan of any franchise wants. Maybe they'll learn that in whatever developments they come next. Well, in fact, they've started to learn that with The Mandalorian, I think, which is true to Star Wars because it's run by people who know Star Wars, by George Lucas's Padawan, Dave Filoni. And obviously, oh God, I can't remember his name, the other guy involved with it, the Lion King director, Jon Favreau. So yeah, maybe they're starting to learn, but the sequel trilogy, I mean, great parts in it, no common theme at all, unfortunately. Maybe you guys can tell me what you think the sequel trilogy is about. Because, yeah, very little character development. A bit more in the final movie for the main characters, for Poe, for Finn, for Rey, and for Kylo/Ben. Rey was a bit more human and likeable in this, although I've always enjoyed Daisy Ridley's performance throughout. But another character and actor very badly served by the material they were given, and that is one of the problems of the sequel trilogy. And obviously the original and the prequel trilogy, they've got clunky dialogue, bad editing in parts, like in Return of the Jedi, to say the Forest Moon of Endor twice within like a minute or something when Akbar's giving a speech. And the prequel trilogy has got very wooden acting throughout. Ian McDermott and of course Ewan McGregor being the real highlights in those. And Ian McDermott is great in The Rise of Skywalker as well, because who doesn't love a bit of evil old Palpatine? He's brilliant. But other than that, it's very difficult to actually know what this sequel trilogy is about, other than a cash grab, which obviously it is. So, and they'll end up, how much have they made on the $2 billion for The Force Awakens, $1 billion for Rogue One, 1.3 for Rise of for Last Jedi, so that's 4.3. Let's say 4.5 including Solo because it didn't do very well, and I expect Rise of Skywalker will make $1 billion something. So it's been commercially successful, But it's like the law of diminishing returns. It's just been going down and down and down because of the problems of the sequel trilogy not having any clear themes, well-defined characters, and all of the stuff that so clearly did define the original trilogy. But that's just my thoughts on it, guys. Like I said, I loved The Force Awakens. It's my favourite of the Star Wars movies. Rise of Skywalker, really, really like that. Not sure where that's going to fit in, but it's going to be higher end of the table rather than lower. And The Last Jedi, for me, rates just above the prequels, as I said in the previous video. But there you go, guys. That's just my thoughts. Like I said, great stuff throughout. Some wooden and poor stuff throughout as well. Typical of Star Wars, of course. But the franchise does not seem to have any clear direction now. Certainly on the big screen. It does seem to have on the little screen with The Mandalorian, and we'll see what the Kenobi and the Cassian Andor shows are like, and Season 7 of the Clone Wars, and whatever other animated shows come along in due course. But for now, guys, that was just my thoughts on the sequel trilogy and the franchise in general. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for a topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.